Express negative 3x squared plus 12x plus 2 in the vertex form of a quadratic. A and B are constants. To express it in vertex form, we could complete the square, negative 3x squared plus 12x plus 2. We look at the first two, factor out negative 3 from these first two terms. We have x squared minus 4x in the bracket. And what we could do now is we complete the square for x squared minus 4x. So you have x squared minus 4x plus negative 2 squared minus negative 2 squared plus 2. These first three terms becomes x minus 2 squared. So we have negative 3 x minus 2 squared minus, that is a 4 plus 2, and that is negative 3x minus 2 squared plus 12 plus 2, which is negative 3x minus 2 squared plus 40. So A is negative 2 and B is 40. It is given a one-to-one function. So the function f is 1-to-1, and this fx here is actually the quadratic given in part A. And this function is 1-to-1 for x less than or equals to k. Now let's look at this. This quadratic is actually fx now is negative 3x minus 2 squared plus 14 here. That is the vertex form. It is a parabola that opens down, and the vertex is given by 2 and 14 here. This function is not 1-to-1. It is 1-to-1 only for x less than or equals to k. And we need to state the largest possible value of k. So for x less than or equals to k, we just grab the vertex here. Let's just look at this part. So when x is less than or equals to 2, the function fx is a 1-to-1 function. Then the largest possible value for k must be this x value of 2 here. It is now given that k is negative 1. State the range of f. So when k is negative 1, and we need to look at the range of f, x equals 2 here. So this is the case where x is negative 1. So you have x equals negative 1. We want to find the y value. When x is negative 1, we find f of negative 1. That is negative 3, negative 1 minus 2 squared plus 14. And we have negative 3, negative 3 squared plus 14. So 3 squared is 9, negative 27 plus 14. And that is negative 13. Then to find the range of f, the range of f is for y less than or equals negative 13. So we say that the range of f is f of x less than or equals to negative 13. Part D, we need to find an expression for the f inverse. To find the inverse function, we let y equals fx. Letting y equals fx, we have y equals negative 3 x minus 2 squared plus 14. And to find the inverse, we have to interchange x and y. So x is negative 3, and then we have y minus 2 squared plus 14. Now we need to solve for y. These two can swap place. We have 3y minus 2 squared. That is negative x plus 14. So we can write this as 14 minus x. It looks nicer. Divide throughout by 3, y minus 2 squared is 14 minus x over 3. To isolate y, we need to take square root on both sides. So y minus 2 is plus minus square root of 14 minus x over 3. And y is 2 plus minus square root of 14 minus x over 3. To find an inverse of f, we are given that the function is 1, 1 for x less than or equals k. So the y value must be less than or equals k. From this part here, we see that y is either 2 plus square root of 14 minus x over 3, or y is 2 minus square root of 14 minus x over 3. Now we are given that x is less than or equals k. So meaning that for the inverse function, y must be less than or equals k. That is the only thing that satisfies that condition. If x is less than or equals 2, then y must be less than or equals 2 for the inverse function. This will give you y greater than or equals to 2. We say that the inverse function f(x) is 2 minus square root of 14 minus x over 3. The graph f(x) is translated by negative 3 and 1 to obtain the graph of g of x. So you need to write g of x in a standard quadratic form. Translation of minus 3 and 1, meaning that you move left by 3 units, and then you move up by 1 unit. So in that case, y equals g of x here. This is f of x plus 3. When you move left by 3 units, in the equation you have f of x plus 3 plus 1. And now f(x) is given by this function here. So we are going to replace it with x plus 3. So y now is gx. We have negative 3. The x is replaced with x plus 3. We have x plus 3 minus 2 squared plus 14. And we need to add a 1 here as well. So that is negative 3x plus 1 squared plus 15. And that is negative 3. Expand the binomial, x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 15. And now we have negative 3. So what we have is negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 3 plus 15. Y now is negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 12. That will give you the function gx.